give you a small sense of pride.
All righty. Welcome, champions. Welcome, welcome. The last training for 2024. So I hope you got your pen and paper ready, because tonight, we're going to design your 2025 to be your best year yet. Now, you guys know I love for you guys to turn on your videos. I don't want to feel like I'm talking to myself. I can see Sandy's got her video on. Good to see you, my dear Sandy. Okay, so I want to see the rest of you guys on. This is going to be interactive. And I'm going to take you guys through a process tonight. Hey, Corinne, how you doing? Hey, Helen. Hey, Aaron, Kanan, Catherine.
Hi, Efrosyni.
Hey, my dear. Who else have we got here? Aisha, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Cool. So, guys, last training of the year, and tonight I want to take you through a process that I go through pretty much around this time of the year to prepare for the next year. Jim Rohn says, take 1 week to plan your year. Take 1 day to plan your month. Take a few hours to plan your week. Take a few minutes to plan your day. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And a lot of people, unfortunately, you sit there and you ask them, what's your plan for the year? What's your goal for the year? A lot of people don't take the time to think about it, let alone prepare for it. You guys are the exception to the rule. You're taking time out of your schedule. It's a Sunday night right now. I know some people are getting ready to finish the year, probably having lots of fun, maybe drinking. You guys are on a webinar, so you're already in the minority of people that are making the sacrifices and going against the grain. So let's make it count. If you've got any distractions, you definitely want to get rid of them. If you're watching the recording, that goes for you as well. Have a piece of paper and a pen. I played a couple of videos for you guys before we got started. There's one quote that it was from the video, and I think it was Les Brown that said it. That he said, if you do what is hard today, your life will be easy tomorrow. But if you do what's easy today, your life will be hard tomorrow. See, a lot of people do what's easy right now because they try their hard and it's too hard. You know, being disciplined can be difficult. Sunday night, you know, to have the option of plugging into a Zoom call and learning and growing and taking notes is a harder path to going out with your friends, having one too many drinks, and pretending it's not Monday tomorrow. Okay? But the thing is that it's all those little habits that we do repeatedly over time that determine the quality of the life that we lead. So if we do a little bit by little bit of the right habits now, you may not see the difference straight away, but over a period of time, it will make a huge difference. Put it this way, right? If you got, let's say, for example, if you got an airplane that is going this sort of direction, okay? And if the airplane shifts 5 millimeters, a little bit like this, you don't see the difference at the beginning. It's only 5 millimeters, right? But this 5 millimeters over a period of time, that gap gets wider and wider, and all of a sudden it ends up in a different direction. So it's a little bit of a shift at the beginning. It's a few nights a week where you plug into a Zoom, or instead of, you know, scrolling on social media or watching television, you don't feel the impact straight away, but those disciplines over a period of time make a huge difference. So make sure you got a piece of paper and a pen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through, firstly, 5 steps to materializing your goals for 2025. 5 steps. Now, you probably heard this. There was a study that was done at a university. I don't remember if it was Yale University or Harvard University. I believe it was Yale. And they did this research where they did a goal setting section with the university students. And they measured the percentage of the students that were able to achieve the goals that they set over a 30-year period. Now, what's crazy is the ones that actually wrote their goals down, they had achieved 70% more results, with 70 or 80% more results than the other people that didn't write their goals down. And the percentage of the people that write down their goals out of the whole class was only 3%. But the 3% that write down their goals, they made more money collectively than over the 97% of the people in the room. That small percentage of people. So when you sit there and you look at, because these results are kind of consistent with how the world is run a little bit to a certain degree, they say that, you know, less than 5% of the population controls over 90% of the wealth. Why is that? Why is that so spread out like that? Well, let's look at it from this perspective. What are those 3 to 5% people doing that the other 95% people are not doing? Right? So for one thing, writing goes down. They say that when you write something down, you're 5 to 10 times more likely to achieve it rather than if you keep it in your mind. Okay? So the first step in order to achieve your goals in 2025 is you have to have a clear vision. And I want you to write down these categories, because this session is not going to be just about Viagra. This session is going to be about every area of your life. Where do you want, you know, one of the sections is career business. Now, whether that means your business in Viagra, whether that means also the job that you may have, it's good to have goals for both. So career or business is one category. Second category is health and wellness. And we're going to go through each of these categories. Third category is relationships. You know, so what is your vision for your relationship this year? Are you in a relationship, you want to make your relationship better? Are you single and you want to meet the right person? The other section is personal growth. Number 5, financial freedom. And number 6, lifestyle and environment. So let's go to number 1, okay? So step 1 is clarify your vision. So for your career/business, where do you want to be professionally by 2025? What rank do you want to be? What promotion do you want to have, maybe in your job or maybe in Viago? What income do you want to achieve in your business or in your career? And as I'm asking you these questions, guys, you know, I want you to write things down. Like the first thing, don't even think about it so much. Try to write the first thing that pops into your mind. Is there a specific milestone you want to achieve in your career? And when you've got at least 1 or 2 goals for your career/business, just tap on the chat, done. All right, cool. So let's go to health and wellness. What health or fitness goals do you have for 2025? It might be, I know that for us, we definitely in 2025, health is a big priority. And being in Australia, my goodness, we've eaten all the wrong things and drank way too much. I'm being honest with you guys. I was watching a video this morning, and it was literally this guy that jumped on the scales and the scales broke. And I sent it to Melanie. I was like, man, I feel like that's going to be us in a couple of weeks, in a week when January 1st happens, So I'm going to tell you what my plan is to do that as well, because we write some goals down for our health and wellness. But health and wellness doesn't necessarily mean just physical, guys. It's also, how do you want to feel mentally in 2025? Maybe you want to strengthen your mindset. Are you the kind of person that sees the glass half full or half empty? Is there some things that you want to change to improve your mental state, for example, 2025? What about your energy? What do you want your energy to be like in 2025? Do you bounce out of bed or do you roll out of bed? And when we get to each section and you're done, you got at least one or two goals written down, then just write down. Hey, Peter. I don't think you need to raise your energy in 2025, Peter. You've always got great energy, buddy. Awesome. So let's go to the next one, which is relationships. Of course it is. So what relationships do you want to cultivate or deepen in 2025? Might be friendships. It might be romantic relationships. They do fall in the same category. Like for me personally, coming to Australia, one of the biggest things was to be able to spend quality time with people that I care about. I haven't seen my friends in Australia since 2020. So I chose a handful of people, not many people, that I wanted to spend quality time with. And I'm doing exactly that. I want to invest more in my friendships in 2025. Is there things you want to do to improve the relationship you're in right now? To take it to a whole new level? Or maybe if you're single, that's a whole conversation in terms of, who do you want to attract in 2025? What do you want your social life to look like in 2025? As most people are done, we're going to go to the next section, which is personal growth, personal development. So in 2025, what areas do you want to grow in? Maybe you want to read more, develop your mindset more. What skills do you want to improve? What additional knowledge do you want to acquire? It's going to financial freedom. What are the financial goals that you want to achieve in 2025? What income you want to be making? Is there a particular amount of money that you want to be investing on a monthly basis? You know, it's not just the money that you make, is how do you make that money work for you? Don't keep working for money, but make the money work for you. Can't remember who said it. And they said that if you don't work your money becomes lazy. So you got to make the money work. Let me know when you're done with this as well. So last section, lifestyle and environment. This is very appropriate for us in Viago, guys. What kind of lifestyle do you want to experience in 2025? What kind of travel experiences? What are some of the destinations you want to go to? Is there some new hobbies that you want to take on in 2025? Maybe you want to upgrade your house in 2025. Maybe you want to upgrade your car. Now, you should have at least one goal for each of these areas. Okay. Now, you can expand your goals. You don't have to just stick to one goal. You might write 2 or 3 goals. Sometimes what I find is that if you keep it as simple as possible, it's easier to create the plan. Sometimes they say people overestimate what they can achieve in a year, but underestimate what they can achieve in 5 to 10 years. So a lot of people sometimes they write so many goals for the 12 months. They don't have a clear plan on how to achieve them. And in the end, they look at all the goals that they wrote, they feel overwhelmed and they do nothing. Okay, so I don't want you to fall into that trap. So ideally, 1, maximum 2 goals for each section, because we will break them down. But now we're going to go to the next section, which is the step 2, which is going to set SMART goals for each of these areas. Now, SMART is an acronym. If you've never come across it, SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable or attainable, relevant, and time specific. So I'll give you an example, okay? Let's say, for example, in 2025, I want to, I want to make more money, right? But is that specific? Making more money, someone can give you 50 euros and you've made more money. Are you got to be happy with that goal? If you're not specific, you're not going to get a specific result. Is it measurable? Sometimes I hear people that say, hey, I want to be a millionaire in 2025. And I ask them, great, have you ever been a millionaire in the past? No, I haven't. What's the most amount of money you've ever made in the past? Oh, $5,000 a month. Never made more than $5,000 a month, but you want to make $1 million a year. You want to do it in the next 12 months. So there's such an unrealistic goal that it's not really a goal. It's just like it's a wish. It's the lottery mindset. Well, I hope I get lucky. They're the ones that come into network marketing. They say, well, if I got a good person on the left and a good person on the right, then it's going to be payday. That's a lottery mindset. And unfortunately, if you're playing lotto, believe me, you don't have anything within your control. So we've got to make it specific. We've got to be able to measure it. It has to be achievable. When I say achievable / realistic, I'm definitely not the person that tries to bring people down to more realistic. I hate the word realistic, but there's a difference between doing something that is achievable and putting it out there rather than putting something that is so far out of your current reality that your subconscious dismisses it and doesn't even try. Okay. So if, let's say, $1 million a year is not something that you see right now, then ask yourself, what do you see? What's a number that you see that is achievable for you? Is it relevant? For example, does the goal align with your broader life vision? I'll give you an example. Let's say that, I don't know, your bigger vision is you want to be a music artist. But one of your goals is you want to basically sell everything and go to Africa and give back. I was speaking to someone today that actually did that. They were a priest, the Orthodox Church here in Australia. And I know his sister, and he made a decision to literally sell everything, go to Africa, start building orphanages. Now, if his vision is to live in Africa, work with kids, build orphanages, but he wants to have, for example, a successful architecture, be a successful architect. Those two visions don't quite align, right? So it needs to be a goal that is relevant to your broader vision. And the other thing is that, that goal needs to also have a deadline. So let's say, for example, I want to make more money in 2025. Here's the better way to do it. And I always write a goal in present tense, by the way, guys. When you write it in present tense and you keep repeating it to yourself, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between reality and fiction. Have you ever had a really vivid dream where it was so vivid that when you opened up your eyes in the morning, even though you know that it was a dream, you had that moment of, God, that felt so real, that you almost like maybe your heart was racing because it felt so real, right? Because your subconscious lives in imagination. Now, if you keep feeding your imagination the right things, creates a mental picture of your reality. And if you play this picture over and over and over again, it's a matter of time before this picture becomes a reality. So by speaking in present tense, for example, it's December 2025. I'm super excited because I've logged into my back office and I can see that I have achieved the rank of Black Diamond. I am grateful and excited for my $85,000 a month residual paycheck and my team that surpassed well over 10,000 members in multiple countries and growing rapidly on a daily basis. That's taking a goal, making it time specific, making it measurable, making it achievable, making it relevant, and ticking all the boxes of a SMART goal. So you can take some time out and do that for each of the goals. We're not going to do that right now because, otherwise we're going to be here for 2 hours. But I want you to take the time to do that, guys, because this is really, really important. So when we finish tonight, just take a little bit of that extra time, go through each of the goals and ask yourself, are these goals SMART goals? Now, step 3. Step 3 is taking and creating a timeline. for each of the goals. See, a lot of people make the mistake that they start the year by writing down goals and then they never look at their goals for the rest of the year. And that, of course, is not going to help because out of sight, out of mind. So when we write down the yearly goals, what's really going to help is creating a timeline where you can chunk those goals and break them down into quarterly goals, monthly goals, and later on weekly goals. That's what's going to ensure you to be on track to make sure you achieve all of these goals. So let's say, for example, looking at Black Diamond, okay? Black Diamond needs to be 5,000, 5,000. So in order to be Black Diamond by the end of the year, that means minimum by June 25 need to be on 2,500 squared. It's halfway there, correct? Even if we're brand new and we want to achieve that goal, by the middle of the year, it needs to be on 2,500 squared to achieve Black Diamond. You guys with me? That means by the first quarter, we need to be on 1,000 squared. Okay. So we're chunking this down. That means by the end of January, we need to be minimum 250 squared. You guys with me? Now, if my goal is to be 250 squared by the end of January, obviously not in my case, but hypothetically, right? And I'm 0-0, and I don't have any presentation scheduled for the first week of January. What are the chances of achieving that? Right? The idea of having a timeline is to enable you to chunk your goal so it's easy to create the game plan to make it happen. So how many presentations do you have to be doing in order to achieve your monthly goal? Now, obviously, this applies to other areas as well. So let's say, for example, getting your health in check. Let's say your goal is by the end of 2025 to lose 25 kilos, you know, or 40 pounds, whatever it is, based on where you're based. In order to lose, actually lose is not a good word. I remember when someone said that. When you lose, you're tempted to go find it again, right? So we don't want to lose it. We want to get rid of it, right? So let's say you want to get rid of 25 kilos by the end of 2025. That means in the next 6 months, to be on track to achieve that goal, you need to get rid of 12 and a half, right? Which is basically a couple of kilos a month, which is very achievable when you chunk it down, isn't it? Right? So chunking it down makes it in bite sizes. And, you know, they say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, step by step. So step 4, this is very, very, very important. Consistency and discipline. Creating the habits for consistency and discipline. So, you know, I said to you guys earlier, one of my goals is to get healthy this year. Here's what I know. I have a tendency to work my butt off when I'm working. When I relax, I really relax, which is not very often, but this holiday has been very relaxing and thoroughly enjoyed it. Managed to disconnect a bit. So when I work, I really work. I get so tunnel vision with what I'm actually doing that my life becomes very off balance. And as my life becomes very off balance, my health is one of the areas that it suffers. So I'm like, okay, I don't have time to do this right now. I'll do it tomorrow. So in order to create the right habits, love to walk on a daily basis. I'd love to, working out 20 minutes high intensity 2, 3 times a week is a habit that I create for a while, but I'm not consistent with it. I'll do it for a couple of months and then I'll let life get in the way. So one of the things I said I'm going to do for 2025 is get a personal trainer. Accountability is one of the most important ingredients for success. When you have somebody that holds you accountable, guys, the results are so different. Because when you roll out of bed, when you wake up in the morning, let's say it's cold outside because it's winter in Europe right now, and it's cold and it's raining, you're like, oh man, it's too cold, it's too rainy, I don't want to be bothered getting out of bed. I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Oh, hang on a minute, it's New Year's Eve. I'll start the beginning of the year. But the beginning of the year is like a Wednesday. Isn't it better to really start on a Monday? Because you don't want to really start in the middle of the week. And what do you end up doing? And I'm saying this from experience because I do this as well. You start negotiating the price of success. But unfortunately, we can't negotiate the price of success. We got to pay the price. Now, if I have an accountability partner, if I have a personal trainer, for example, and when I've hired personal trainers in the past, I'm very selective with personal trainers because it's going to be someone that's going to hold me accountable. I don't want the personal trainer that's going to buy my excuses. In fact, the best results that I had is with personal trainers that could hold me accountable with things like, hey, listen, you know what? If you want to cancel your session, not a problem, but I don't do refunds. You cancel your session, you're still paying for it. So the pain associated of not being consistent is big enough to motivate me to be consistent. Do you see what I mean? So if I said to you, let's say you need to do one presentation a day for the next 30 days. For every presentation you do, I give you $50 bonus. Hypothetically, by the way, okay? Don't come asking me for $50 bonus after this, all right? Let's say I give you $50 bonus for every single presentation that you do. Like, that sounds good. That means if I do a presentation a day over the next 30 days, I'm going to make $1,500. Correct? That's cool. What if I say to you, for every day you don't do a presentation, I'm going to penalize you $200. It's like the $50 is good, but man, the penalizing of $200, that means if I miss 3 days, it's going to cost me $600. Isn't that scarier or more impactful rather than the motivation to get something? Right? Most people are motivated by the avoidance of pain rather than what they have to gain. Right? So if we know these, what kind of thing that you can put in place to hold you accountable in each of these areas? Right? And how can you track your progress? What you track expands. If you don't track it, how are you going to know when you're on your way to achieve it or not, or whether you're falling behind? You guys with me? I know I'm speaking a little bit fast, guys, but let me know if you're keeping up here, by the way. Peter's like, yep, keep talking. Right. So let's go to the next section, which is step 5. Developing a growth mindset. If you want to make 2025 your best year yet, you got to understand that in order to have a growth mindset, you got to be able to embrace failures. Here's what I see happening, and I've experienced this many times over the last few years. First, you set a goal. Then the universe goes, I'm going to have a little bit of fun with this. Let me throw a little spanner in the works to see how bad do you really want it. right? And sometimes some people go, oh, maybe it's a sign that I'm not meant to have it. No, it's a test to see how bad you want it, right? Expect the test. Don't shy away from the test. The test is there to basically test you on how hungry you are to get it. Guys, you probably heard Matt Moore say this many times, and I remember him saying it over the years. It's not the most talented people that win. It's the hungry ones. Hunger beats talent any day of the week. Michael Jordan, to give you an idea, was not the most talented basketball player. He wasn't. He said it himself. In fact, he had some natural talent, but he got kicked off the basketball team at one point during high school. And he was really upset. Even though he had some really good talent, he got kicked off the team. And his coach essentially was giving him a lesson that at the beginning he wasn't ready to receive, but he did receive it later. His coach said that you do have some natural talent, but you're lazy. You're not putting in the work. And Michael Jordan wanted to get back on the basketball team so much that that summer he worked like crazy. He practiced every day over and over and over and over and over again until he became one of the hardest working individuals in the basketball game. And that's what made Michael Jordan the superstar that he still is today by name, even though he's retired. It wasn't just the talent, he had some talent, but it was his work ethic. I've met so many people over the years that had amazing talent, but they didn't have the work ethic and they didn't last. And I met people that really didn't have the talent, but they had the work ethic and the talent came through the activity. Talent you cannot control. Work ethic you can control. You might not be the best presenter, but you do more presentations. That's how you become the best presenter. Okay, so having a growth mindset is going to be key to this year. Ask yourself, in order to achieve the results that I want to achieve, who do I need to become? And in order to become that person, what do I need to read? What do I need to listen to? Who do I need to pay attention to? Now, one thing that a lot of people forget sometimes is also celebrating the little wins. Don't just wait to achieve a big milestone in order to celebrate it. Achieve the little milestones to the bigger milestones, celebrate them every single part of the journey. And that's how you program the subconscious mind that winning has its rewards. Now, step number 7. You guys probably heard this many times. Your why. What is your why for achieving the goal? Let's say that one of the biggest goals, because you can do this for all the goals. What is your why for wanting to achieve these goals? What is your action motivator? The one thing that's going to literally push you in action when you don't feel like it. Step 8 and final step. Review and adjust on a regular basis. Goals may slightly change, but the commitment doesn't. The journey may change. So at the end of each quarter or even every month, sit there and review your progress. Ask yourself, What was my goal for this month? Am I on track to achieve this goal this month? Am I on track to achieve the milestones that I set for myself? If you've got some obstacles that got in the way, what are the plans to overcome them? Do you need to adjust some of your goals? Last but not least, okay, this is not a step, this is a bonus section, okay? And I invite all of you guys to basically take some time and do that. When we finish, it's really, really powerful to create a vision board of what you want to achieve for 2025. And what do I mean by vision board? It's how mind thinks in pictures. So if I tell you car, you don't sit there and think C-A-R. No, you've got a car that you're visualizing in your mind, right? Maybe it's a specific car, right? So when you're sitting there, you want to program your mind and you've got certain goals. What I find in Pinterest is really good for doing this, by the way. You can go into Pinterest and create a board of your vision board and find pictures that represent each of your goals. So let's say, for example, it might be a picture in Dubai, and you're celebrating that you achieved an important milestone because you're going to be walking the stage in Dubai. Okay. It might be a picture of, let's say, you want to achieve a particular rank in Viago, and it's a picture of the pin that you're going to get at that particular rank. Maybe it's a holiday that you want to take this year, that you set for your goal. Let's say you want to go to Maldives this year, and you have a picture of the Maldives. Whatever it is, take some time out and create this vision board for yourself. And every single morning when you wake up, spend a few moments looking at the vision board, closing your eyes, and visualizing yourself achieving every single one of those goals. At the same time, do this before you go to bed. Because at nighttime, like I said, you program your subconscious mind. So before you go to bed, if you program what your mind thinks about, then it's going to be working overtime during the evening to help you to make those goals a reality. Good thoughts in, good communication out. And if we keep investing in our mind, we keep improving our communication. And our communication also creates the reality that we live in. So spend a few moments every single day in order to do some visualization. At the same time, what's really important is to do some time management. What you schedule gets done. So if you know that you have 1 or 2 hours a day to invest in your Viago business, schedule it. Maybe it's the presentations every single night that we have. By the way, this week, we're going to have another presentation tomorrow at 7 o'clock Cyprus time, 6 p.m. Hungary/Italy time. That's going to be the last presentation of the year, by the way. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it, Peter? Last presentation of the year is tomorrow, and then we got New Year's Eve, so we won't have a presentation for that one. The next presentation will be 2nd of January. So this year is almost done. Okay, so time block. Sit there and put in your diary. Let's say you're investing 1 or 2 hours a day in Viago. Block it in your diary between, let's say, 7 and 9. The peak in our business, by the way, guys, is the evenings. So 7 and 9, 6:30 till 8:30, whatever it is that you works best for you. Block it in your diary so nothing else can basically come and clash with it. And know that during those times, you're doing what we call the income producing activities. You're inviting, you're presenting, you're getting people started, or you're getting them to training. Anything else, you're not investing your time, you're spending your time. Okay? So time block it and create those disciplines. Find an accountability partner that is ready to run with you at the same pace as you by Dubai. Just find a running buddy and, once a week have an accountability call. Where you can literally sit there and hold each other accountable. What was your goal for the week? What was your activity? Sometimes even just those conversations is enough to keep you on track. Bomba. Okay. So that's it for me, guys. Last training for 2024. Right? Have an amazing night. Please take a little bit of time right now as we wrap things up and finish this, while the information is fresh in your mind. Finish it, create your vision board. And I'd love for you guys to message me, send me a screenshot of your vision board. I want to see it. It's also my way of holding you guys accountable too. Okay. So send me your vision board. I'll know that if you haven't sent me your vision board in the next 24 hours, that you didn't take the time to do this. It's one thing I learned from my mentor. He goes, if you really want to help people, he said, give them assignments and then you see who does it. He goes, the ones that do it and do it quickly means that they're hungry and teachable, and those are the ones that you invest the time with. Okay. So congratulations, guys, for 2024. It's been an amazing year. We've launched Viago, a new company. We're less than a month old. I am personally looking forward to 2025 being a record year. I can feel it. I can see so many amazing things happening in 2025. And I look forward to celebrating with you guys your milestones, your goals in Dubai. Have a great night, guys.